Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera, and we are on air. And we have just cut the roof off this Thunderbird. Yeah, we just cut the roof off it, and it's kind of something you got to chew on for a second. I've just cut the roof off a perfectly good car, and for the people that have not following or not know what's going on, I'm trying to make this 1958 square bird, I guess they call it, look like the first gen Thunderbirds, the 55, the 56, and the 57, by shortening the roof and making it a two-seater instead of a four-seater. It's an attractive car. It's working on me, that's for sure. But what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to fit the roof back on the car. I'm probably not going to get it nailed down, but I'm going to get it put on so we can get a visual. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to trim some of the metal down on the edge of the roof for this part here. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to cut this distance off here. We figured it out before we cut the roof off, was 12.5 inches. I'm going to cut 12.5 inches off the roof on the drip rail molding. 12.5 inches we're going to cut off that bad boy. I'm hoping we didn't get back in the curve too much. Jolene said I was flirting with it, but I wasn't, baby. I would never flirt with anybody else. I love you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it back 12.5 inches. And trim it back on 12.5 inches there. We'll cut it here, and then we'll overlap all this sheet metal that's on the roof. We'll lap it on top of this metal, and that way there I can get a mark of where I'm going to cut it off, because I don't really want to cut the roof off and then find out that I've got a mess going on. I sort of want to get it in place so I can make a true mark. That's what I want to do. Also, we went to town this morning. Me and Jolene are going to go do something today. We want to get the winter tires off. I want to thank Valley Tire for doing quick service, man. We were in and out. We sat in the truck. They changed the tires. It was just like we were at the race car track, wasn't it? There you go. Thank you. It was good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Alrighty, I'm going to pull the roof ahead and cut off the excess. I'm going to have to get Jolene today to help me lift the roof back on. So if you want to see Jolene, you're going to have to stay and watch for a while. I'm going to get my gloves on. Let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scribe the 12.5 inches back with the cut that I have on there now. And we'll cut it. We'll try it on. We may take it back off. We may put it back on. I'll let my dog in for a second. Dog's barking. Come on in, Fiend. Good job. She's out there working this morning. Good job. All right, we'll just pull this roof ahead this morning. Also, just a reminder on this job here, we're going to do it completely on video. I'm not going to jump ahead and do anything and get far ahead of everybody. That way there, everybody's going to know exactly if they have a Thunderbird, if they have a car they want to shorten the roof on, they know exactly what I did and what I didn't do. So I come out last night to do a little bit of work. I got a bunch of work to do, and I kicked the corner of that roof, and it got me. So that's why I moved it back. Damn thing, got me. And the night before that, I come out and the roof liner was there. I tripped and I cut my foot on the chair. So it's really fighting me. The car is fighting me. Why are you doing this to me? And I'm not sure. My brain told me to do it. My brain told me to do it. All right, get a tape measure. Run in circles here for a second. That's what I always do first thing in the morning, run in circles. And the reason being is because I'm not always ready. But we get ready. We get her done. So, I'll come on this side first, I guess. 12.5 inches. 12.5 inches. We are flirting with that curve. We're flirting with it, Jolene said. I said that marker's, I don't like that mark that I just put on there. I'm going to take a little bit of I want to get a sharper line there. That line is not telling me a nice crisp line. How am I going to get that off? Take a grinder. Just want to knock that off. All right, let's do that again. The reason I knocked that off because the line was kind of fat, and I really want a truer read than what I've seen there. Believe it or not. Let's go up here. Go up here. Trying to keep my tape measure straight with what I'm doing. Go up here. What I mean by straight, I wouldn't want it like this. Don't want it like that. I want it straight. Now I'm going to connect the dots. And if I have any gaps, what's going on, the coat hanger will come out. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. That's not a bad line, just connect the dots there. Ouch. I might as well do the other side. This line up here might not be perfectly straight, but if I measure back every so little bit, I should be able to make this line like that line, which makes them add up in the front. Now we're just going to connect the dots. Now, what I'm doing by marking that is I'm taking this distance out of that, which will move this part of the roof down here at the bottom. When I take this out, that means that that part right down there at the bottom will come here. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, when I cut that off, I want to get rid of all this chunky metal here on the corner. Chunky monkey. So I'm just going to do this. Go to the other side. Left hand wasn't that steady, but it's going to be cut off anyways. So basically we're going to get down to the sheet metal. I'm going to cut that little sneer up. Cut that little piece off because that's going to be in my way. Thanks everybody for coming back. Good morning, Australia. Good morning. Nice piece of metal, jammed my toe. Alrighty, just want to think things over here for a second. If I take the level and put this level on the roof or on the quarter panel where the roof's going back on. The roof was welded on, if you see here, this part is in a little bit further than this, probably ½ inch. But when I've put the level on there, I'm up just a little tiny ways. You can see that, probably a grinder's mark, so we're probably right on the money. Probably right on the money to set that on there. Also, where I've cut this off, you can see it was connected to the wheel well in the back. The wheel well's right here. That's where the wheel well is. This is all wheel well. You can see how it was connected to the wheel well. It's all welded to the wheel well there and up front. When we bring it back up here, the piece going down there will get welded back in here, which is connected to the wheel well because it's connected there. The piece on the back of the roof will get welded to here and there. That's welded back to the wheel well. And then when we put the roof up here, instead of having this 90 going here, I'm thinking that we'll just run a piece straight down and weld it from the inside of the roof to the inside of this. So that means everything's connected back to where it was. So nothing is You think if I cut it all off, well, I'm not going to get it welded back. Well, yes, because this is all connected together. And if I weld this to here, this is welded to the wheel well, that's welded to the wheel well, and then I'm welding the roof to that. So everything's coming back together. The car did not move whatsoever. It did not move because nothing bound up when I was using the zip cut. So I'm happy about that. And the reason being is when you look inside this car, it's been on its way to being restored, and it was a good job being done. So I'm very happy with that. I may as well cut these pieces off. And you noticed when we cut the roof off, if you watched yesterday, this section here popped up quite heavy. And the reason being is that you can see it. I don't know if it opens it up or not. Yeah, it opens it up a little bit when it comes down. So the roof has come together. So when we put the roof on, we're going to probably have to do a little bit of work to get that exactly out there where it needs to be. I'm hoping it's not that much of a struggle, but if it is, it is. That's the part of doing something like this. If there's a struggle to it, it's because it wasn't meant to be that way, and we'll have to do it. All right, I'm going to cut that off. I'm just taking my time here for a second. I do not feel like we're too far back in the curve. You know, we're on the straight. We're flirting with it, aren't we, honey? All right, I'm going to cut it off. No more flirting with it. I think my honey got a spark, didn't ya? She got a spark in the foot. Now, I'm going to take and put a jack stand in the middle, and then I can hold it up on the middle brace, and then I can pull the two jack stands on either side, and then I can cut that piece directly off. There it is. Nope, don't want that one. I want that one. Nope. All right. That way there I can get that roof cut off, or get that piece cut off. I'm hoping I can. We were talking yesterday, Dan the man in and Dale was in. We were talking yesterday about the zip cut and the grinder. But if I've ever got hit with them, yes I have. But in all honesty, if you're using it without a guard, what I'm going to say is that if you're using it and you are hearing a whining noise, like you're hearing a different noise come from the grinder, like a mad cat or something, the best thing to do is just back away, let off. If you're hearing that noise, it's not really cutting properly, and you're probably going to get hurt. So if you hear it binding at all, let off and save yourself. But I guess that's just a hint of advice when you're doing this sort of stuff. You know, if if it's not sounding good, let off. The reason I don't use a guard is because I want to see where the blade is going. Now we can see where we cut it off. Come take a look. Can you see the two lines? Can you see how things are looking pretty good? We got the two holes up front, 2 holes up front. We got 2 holes back there, 1 hole there, 1 hole there, and it's looking quite good. Could be off a little tiny bit. Look, we can build something out of that. I can build a house for me later on. Look at that. Huh? Alrighty. Now, what I'm thinking is the roof can go back on. This is going to be a visual here. So for anybody that's not been here, we are shortening the roof to make it look like the first gen Thunderbirds. We're not taking the body and moving it ahead. Reason being is the suspension is something that I do not want to get into. I don't feel like it's something I couldn't do if I wanted to. It's just that, you know, it's more work. I don't feel like this distance here is going to change anything where I'm going. So if I can get Jolene to come help me, that would be fantastic. Back off, boy, she's mine. Also, we were given a Thunderbird shop manual. Well, probably won't open it. Probably won't open. So it's gonna take like a second or two. I mean, I can't expect my 100-pound queen Jolene to muscle this roof up and get it in place right off the get-go, but we'll get it going. I left the sheet metal on the center of the roof, and I think I'm gonna explain it again. That it can lay on top of this sheet metal. Once I get the 2 sides fitting up, then I can come in and get on the inside, trace that bad boy, and make the decision whether I want to pull it back off to cut it off, or if I want to cut it off and weld it up. Whenever you're ready, Jolene, my queen. All right, squat and lift. Mm-hmm. Jolene's back's not feeling the greatest today, so she's going to squat and lift. How'd you make out? Good. You didn't fart. Ow. Did you just hit your shins on that?
No, just my toe.
I was going to say, all right, you're going to have to, I'm going to get over here. Oh, wow. Got it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she says. All right.
Hang on.
All right.
I gotta.
Have you got a glove on?
No.
Oh.
It's okay.
It's okay, she says. Boys, it's okay. All right. Set that front down on there. All right, good.
You got a wire going on.
What's that, sweetheart?
There's a wire out of here.
As long as my wire's on it, that's all that matters. All right, good. Wow. Wow. All right. If we want to come over and just take it, we just set that on there. Just set that on there. Just set that on there. I'm going to pull it over just a little tiny bit. I probably pulled it off the other side is what I did. But you can see I might have to come down a little bit, take a little bit off that. I can probably do that right on there. If we want to come over to this side, then we can check out both sides. Alrighty, so this is what we got going on for a fitment there. I'm thinking it's absolutely awesome, and the reason being is this is up in the center. Once I push that down, that'll come out and fit that perfectly. I feel yeah, we got. If you take a look at this, take a look at this gap here. Take a look at that gap there. Mm-hmm. See what we got to the end of this sharp piece right there. We're almost the same distance, so that's good. There's a big rubber piece that goes in there that seals up that window. This window part is something that, what can I say? The window you'd have to make a new window for it because it's got this shape now. It doesn't go straight up with the back, and that's okay because it's not going back this way. It's hard. It's pretty hard to get a window to come up and go back, but you can get a window to come up and slant off forward to fill that gap, which is no problem whatsoever. Not sure if I want to put the wing windows back in or not. We're fitting good along the top of the roof there. We're fitting not bad there. This one, now as you come over this one here, you can see that we're pretty near right on the money, and we're pretty near right on the money there. So it's looking pretty good. Something I have to I have the back window here. I want to make sure that that back window fits again. I have the piece in here. Took that off for a minute. And the reason being we took that off because I wanted to get it off. This back piece here should fit in the middle of that. So we should push that. That'll push that roof open a little bit. And that'll tell me the real deal, whether at where I should be. All right, that's fitting in on that one. Could open up a little bit. Does that fit right in? Just kind of wondering how far back that fit. That fit not way up in there. That only fit a little ways in, so we're good. That's perfect. Actually, probably opened up maybe just a little tiny bit. And that's a good thing to tell me whether that's good. The back window, this part has not opened up whatsoever. Now we're just going to have to, whether I want to weld it on right now or not. To get this roof cut off. What I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to tack on. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slow back for a second. We've got the roof on where it should be. What I'm going to do is just slow back for a second. There's no sense in me getting in a big rush. I don't think anybody that's watching is in a big rush. We can come back and take a visual if you would like. That's what I haven't done yet. Come back and take a visual on it. So we're going to have. There's a couple things going on with this car. Where I've shortened the roof. You're getting the visual. This is going to be our package tray. And also, as I was looking last night. Piece of. I also can do. We can take a piece of round rod if we want to. When one of those pieces longer. I broke that right in half. I'd have to do that, wouldn't I? We use metal here, not wood. If I wanted to, I could add. Not sure. I'm just going to play with it in my brain play with it for a bit because I seen a car last night at the roof angle back. I can leave the back window where it's at. If the package trays in my, I'm only playing with this right at the present moment. I'm playing with it. I'm not saying I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. I'm just playing with it because that's what I'm allowed to do. If I put that in there. Here's my marker. Just gonna, for shits and giggles, just to let you know. So if you're saying, oh, the package tray's too long, oh, the roof's too short, or whatever. This is kind of a thing that I had in my brain in case I thought the exact same thing. We can remember when I had the cutout or on the Hudson up too high. It had to be moved back. It didn't look right, or whatever. So what I'm thinking is if the roof, it doesn't look too small. The package tray doesn't look too bad to me the way it is right now.
I like it.
You like it? Mm-hmm. Jolene likes it, so it's over.
No, I'm just saying.
But anyways, I'm going to take this just to show you what is possible. Show you what's possible. If, you know, you want to go there. Like if you cut the roof off your car and you did not like it, I'm just going to show you what's possible. Get a pair of scissors. Pair of scissors. I must not put them away. Fina being a good dog. Mm-hmm. I got a little tiny pair of scissors here. I don't know why I have no scissors. Okay, I buried them. I buried them. So you could leave the window where it's at because that's not going to hurt anything. If you're thinking about the back window, I have the pattern right there for the window, and it's just, we'll show that as we go. There's no sense giving away all the secrets. It's like the caramel bar. I could leave the back window where it's at. I could build this out and make a sail panel. I think that's on the first course when I was with Gene Winfield. That's the first thing that I noticed that he done that really took me back. I've seen chopped roofs before, and I've seen that stuff before, but I never actually seen something be made on a car that was not there. And this was exactly the first piece that was made it was on a Buick Riviera. He made a sail panel come down from the back from the roof after we chopped it, hit the piece of square stock or round stock on the floor, give it a bend, put it on there, give it a nice graze on it, and it made the Riviera look like it was a fastback. And it took me back that, wow, you can add metal to cars, and took me back, and that's where it took off for me. Just going to tape this here so it stays. Not sure how well this piece of paper is going to stick to this rusty piece of metal. But if we want it to, I know it's up there a little bit high, but it's a reference. So if you want to come back here, sweetheart, if you want to, if you can picture, just 1 second, I'm even going to help the picture out a little bit more, just because I can. Just for shits and giggles. So if you've seen, I can't really tell you. If you can notice, obviously you can, if you had the roof all looking like that, that would take away from that sail panel. I'm not sure if I like that much, but it was an idea in my brain that I had if I didn't like the roof. I think I want to rip it right off, and the reason being is I like the shorter roof. I can see that right now, but that's for people at home if they wanted to see. If you didn't like something, you shortened your roof. Well, it's not over. You can come up with a plan, and you could make a sail panel back there, cap that in. Your window would still be here, but when you look from the side view, you would get the feeling that you have a fastback. Just like on a Mustang, I like the fastbacks a little bit more than I like the notchbacks. And if I had a Mustang notchback, I would make it a fastback by ramrod, put what I want on the side of it. I'd leave the back window where it is, and I would have a fastback. I probably would chop the car and then do the fastback, but it's just a thought process of that's what I would do. But there you go. We have cut the roof off, put it back on the car, and now we have a two-seater Square Bird for my queen, Jolene. Also, as I'm looking at the car, when the fender skirts go on, it'll get rid of that big hole right there. I'm going to end up, after we shut the video down, I'm probably going to dig them out and put them on. But it's going to get rid of that big hole right there from stop making that ass end look too long. But there you go. The first, I'm not going to say the first. No, I'm not. It's, you know, we're making a two-seater Thunderbird out of a 58. I did not build the car. I am customizing it. If you like it, throw a like in. If you do not like it, you know what to do. But throw a comment in either way, and subscribe, share, come back tomorrow, and we'll do more. I'm not going to jump into cutting it and putting it on, getting halfway. I want to show you exactly what I'm doing on this one. I've got a lot to do on the outside of the house and stuff like that, so we're just going to slow this one down. Do it. Whatever time you see on the camera is the time that we've spent on it. See you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for coming back.